Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this very professional production. I'm Michelle, your storyteller for this evening for West Rising, a Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle. And please allow me to introduce our players. We'll start with John.
I'm John, and I'm playing Shadow, the Get of Fenris Arun.
And we have Craig.
I'm Craig. I'm playing Grudek, who is a Bonar Galliard.
And we have William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing C, the Uktena Philodox.
And we have Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I am playing Thistle, the child of Gaia. I'm not sure how to conjugate it in this instance. Theurge.
And last but not least, we have Jack.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jack, and I'm playing Tig Connolly, the Fianna Ragabash.
All right. So it is, in our world, Wednesday, September 26th, the night of, the last night of the full moon. Last night, you know there was a moot being held at the Western Eye Sept, but you weren't invited, as you have not been through your rite of passage and you are not yet full members of the Sept. Those of you who have been staying at the Sept that night, you weren't barred from observing the moot, but you were kind of told to stay out of the way, and you only got to see the proceedings from a distance. But tonight, you have all been called to the Sept. Those coming from outside the park were led in by one of the Cairn Guardians in the dead of night and led up the trail to the massive pair of boulders that block the entrance to the Cairn grounds there in Muir Woods National Monument. With no tourists currently around, with the park being closed, there's no impediment to your changing into your towering half-man, half-wolf form and just leaping full to the Cairn grounds. And then following the little streamlet word, the promised guest is from the way the set described the incoming visitor. He sounds like some sort of royalty. He's the son of a hugely influential Fianna Sept leader at a hugely powerful cairn in Ireland. And not only that, but his ancestry is littered with heroes. He's coming by way of the Sept Green in New York, of his connecting flight, as it were. But he's traveling through the Umbra Bridge. So he'll be coming at you through the spirit world. Everyone in the Sept seems especially excited to meet him, not only because of his reputation, but because he'll be the last of you to arrive. Your feature pack will finally be assembled, a pack that has been prophesied to save the Western Eye, the ancient cairn, from destruction. Once Tig Connolly is settled in, you can all begin your rite of passage and become full members of your tribes and your Sept and Guru Nation. Tig, you have been traveling for almost 2 hours, nearly an hour apiece on each moon bridge. You and a pair of escorts have been traveling in lupus form, just so you're not as tired as you might otherwise be if you're traveling on 2 legs. But having nothing to look at all that time except for this shimmering tunnel of light has probably got you a little on edge. You're allowed a brief stop in Central Park to rest and attend to biological needs and so on, but then it was right back to the Moon Bridge. When you arrive at the Western Eye Cairn, you're greeted by their gatekeeper, whose name you've been informed ahead of time is Hot Eye. Now that you see him, you understand why. The whole right upper quadrant of the aging guru's face looks as though it had melted a bit, sinking slightly into his head. That ear is smaller than the other one, and the eye on that side is covered with an eye patch. He is in Krynos form, standing about 9 feet tall. That and the deformity suggests that he is a Metis, the forbidden offspring of 2 werewolves. He bows and greets you formally in the Guru tongue, which you've been drilled in for months now. The Fianna invented it, after all. So he greets you and welcomes you to the Sept.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, then. I guess you heard I was coming. I'm Ty Connolly, out of Bron McFinn, from Rood and Nera's line.
We are very honored to have you. Come, follow me. I will introduce you to our den father. Watching your arrival curiously are 3 fetching young women, around age 20 or so, a black woman, an Asian woman, and a third woman whose ethnicity isn't immediately clear to you, except that none of them are clearly ethnically Irish. They're all dressed as though for a date, and they're all watching you with varying degrees of intense curiosity and clearly prurient interest. As you pass them, you hear an exchange behind you, though it's not who's saying what. One of them says, "Well, he's a bit of all right." And another says, "I still like C the best. He's so intense." And then the third one says, "Well, neither of them hold a candle to Thistle in the looks department, but I wouldn't even know where to start flirting with a tree." That baffling and possibly embarrassing exchange, the 3 girls fell back into the backdrop, their initial curiosity clearly satisfied.
Tygo, whoops.
Go ahead.
Tygo kind of glance back over his shoulder and try and catch a wink off one of them, if he can.
All 3 start giggling and whispering to each other, as girls do. Hot Eye leads you northward in the shadow of the small cliff that marks the western boundary of the Sept's territory, toward a gathering of tents, camping tents, where people are obviously living. There's signs of long-term habitation there. He presents you to a middle-aged Asian man with salt and pepper hair and a youthful face. And he says, "Bridge runner, this is Tig Connolly from the Sept of the Tri-Spiral." And the middle-aged man bows to you. And he says, "Hello, I'm Anthony Liu, mostly known around here as Bridge Runner. I'm the den father here, and as such, I'll be overseeing y'all's rite of passage." You're probably wondering about the accent. I'm an import. I'm sort of permanently on loan from the Sept of the Coastal Empire in Savannah. Anyway, I'll give you as much time as you need to settle in and introduce yourself to the other cubs going through their rite of passage. They should be around in this area somewhere, around the tents here. And when you're ready, it's my job to give y'all your assignment. So just come find me when you want to get started. And he doesn't leave exactly. He's obviously still supervising, but he kind of hangs back and lets you adjust to your surroundings and familiarize yourself.
Fair enough, then. Don't worry about the accent. You just sound the most American of anybody I've met since I crossed the pond.
All right. Well, you got a nice accent yourself. Not used to hearing that around here.
So just down this way then, yeah.
So the rest of the 4 of you have probably been awaiting his arrival, and it's up to you exactly where on the Sept grounds you've been hanging out, either at the tents or if you've been watching him from the moment he arrived.
I think C's probably been waiting at the location that he knew that everyone was supposed to be gathering, so probably around the tents, just kind of pacing back and forth as is sort of his way as he stuck running through everything in his head that is possibly going to be happening in the next few hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hi there, lad. What's your name then?
I'm C. Walsh. You must be our new person from across the ocean.
Hey, that seems to be about the business. Apparently, I'm some sort of prophesied chosen one or something like that. So,
Yeah,
hopefully that's not
those words have been getting bandied around a lot
about me.
about a lot of people.
Oh, shite, I'm not the only one. You too?
Myself and a handful of others.
All right, well, like the entire group of everybody, or just a couple of...
This prospective pack.
Bridge Runner is actually slightly cracking up in the background over there, just trying to hide his laughter behind his hand.
All right, well, who else do I need to meet here then?
If you see the large black wolf wandering around, that'll be Shadow. I don't know where Thistle or Grudek are usually at.
Thistle is probably not too far from the meeting spot. Found somewhere to sit down, reading a book that to an English speaker looks backwards with a... You know what? Let's go with that. An illustration of a woman with sort of wolf ears and a tail in a somewhat artistic nude on the front.
All right then. Well, I guess I'll go talk to this one.
By artistic nude, I mean without any nipples, guys.
I know what you mean. Hi there.
This'll snap the book shut, and Z will sort of stand up.
Oh, and by the way, because Aaron probably won't say this about their own character, but Thistle is actually like gorgeous. At the same time, sort of nondescript and androgynous, but also just like incredibly eye-catching. So,
yep.
Yeah.
I am. Z is pretty tall for a Hamid form, not compared to the absurdly tall members of the group, but on the taller end of expected Hamid, with sort of short pixie cut hair, currently wearing a leotard and a lighter trench coat in a dark lavender color, with a canvas backpack with an excessive amount of buttons referencing different things. There's a TARDIS, there's a Star Trek, and there's quite a few more obscure ones, including a Slayer's Take logo.
Yes. Tag will walk up to Zer, and he's probably about... He's a couple inches shy of 6 feet. Wiry, shaggy red hair. Just a hint of peach fuzz on his face that really hasn't started much for him yet. And he's going to pretend that does not bother him at all.
So, are you the new one who came across the bridge?
Hi. Yeah, that's me.
So,
I'm Ty Connolly.
Okay, I'm kind of new to this. Do I like curtsy or bow or something? Or they talk about noble, blah, 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 and I just did.
Oh, well, I mean, apparently I'm descended from some sort of line of heroes or something like that. I mean, I can tell you the stories if you want. They kind of drilled those into me early on, but I guess all you need to know is that, me and C are apparently the two chosen ones here, so...
Cool. I'm number 3, I guess.
Oh, shite, you too.
I guess
all right,
is my claim to fame.
And
I have 4 parents, one of whom is a tree.
You're having me on there.
C steps into frame. No, that appears to be the true story. Also, there are 2 more of us.
And
I'm pretty
cracking
sure
up
you'll
that I'm
see it
doing-
at some point if we stick together for very long.
The cracking up that I'm doing right now pretty much represents Bridge Runner's reaction to all this. Every time somebody mentions the chosen one, number 3, he just starts cracking up all over again.
I think at that
I didn't
point,
assign the title. I just got told, you're important, stick around.
I think at that point you see another figure wandering over from the general direction of the smell of the cooking fires, because I know an entrance line when I hear one. And Grudek walks over. Grudek is probably about 5'9", 5'10". He looks a little shorter than that. He walks with a bit of a stoop and his shoulders rolled forward. The first thing you notice is he's extremely pale. Has very, very pale skin. White, almost yellow hair, and is wearing sunglasses, even though it's nighttime, like an 80s movie, and is wiping his hands on an apron. And underneath the apron, you can see him wearing old beaten up khaki trousers and what looks to be a silk, or at least silk-ish, brightly colored Hawaiian shirt. And he walks in and he says, well, I'm always up for hearing a story. Here you have some to offer. Oh, well, I'm the 4th one of the prophecy.
All right, then. Well,
It's one of those that just keeps going on and on. And he walks up, finishes wiping off his hands, and then holds out his right hand to you.
Tag will shake hands with him. Well, me dad's in charge of the Tri-Spirals. Except, me grandma was apparently Marood McNamara, who was in some crazy battle or other. And I come from somebody named Nera back in the real old days, apparently, who got foresight from the She, apparently, or some such nonsense. Fairies are real.
And
Right,
I know,
I've
isn't that so
heard.
cool?
Maybe over here it's cool. On my side of the pond, fairies kind of fuck up your life and make you miserable most of the time. So I'm
Don't
still
worry,
kind of
I think
iffy
all
on
of
that
this-
idea.
This mystic stuff is fascinating and awesome, and everyone else seems really down on it.
I mean, it's fascinating in the same way that, I guess, theoretical physics behind starting a nuclear bomb are fascinating, but then you've also got a fucking huge explosive device here that's gonna murder the shit out of a lot of people potentially. So,
Michelle, is tonight the full moon?
It's the last night of the full moon,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So Shadow is sitting somewhere by himself, hands clenched, muscles constantly twitching, trying
In
not
Hamid form?
yeah, in Hamid form, trying not to say or do anything because he doesn't want to rip somebody apart.
And I assume that the other 4 of us have met at least briefly at some point.
You've seen each other. Yeah,
okay.
Grudek, you've probably seen almost all of them at least once because you've been hanging out here and you're very sociable. You've
Okay.
probably talked at Shadow quite a lot.
Yeah, I think at this point with the other 4 of us, Grudek will reach out and if Tig lets him, will sort of slap Tig on the shoulder and say, "Well, look, if all of us are here, I'd better go get the new most popular wolf of the northern woods. That way, all 5 of us will be together, and we can start seeing how we all get along. Excuse me, just a moment." And he'll turn and walk off towards wherever the last direction he saw Shadow.
That guy's fair crack, isn't he?
And since it hasn't been mentioned yet, C is probably about 5'8" of middling American height, and he has that not uncommon mix of Caucasian skin tone and Native American features, with the sort of the shoulder length black hair is a little bit wild, with the one braid on the left side. Dressed in, I'm going to say, the step below hipster, in that he's wearing wearing the very well made sort of dark crimson button up short sleeve shirt with the distressed pants and the bracelets and indicators of someone who is trying to look unique. But despite all of the showmanship of being a teenager, he's got a stern look that says he does a little bit too much to keep himself controlled.
Tag's get up is one that he looks like he came off of a 12 to 18 hour plane ride where it's all obviously very comfortable, but definitely rumpled and weathered and that sort of thing. There's some level of food stain down on one corner of the shirt that has been hastily scrubbed away with probably just some water. And looks like he really could give a shit about his appearance at the moment, and that he was just trying to, keep himself intact during this entire journey.
So, when Grudek finds Shadow, it's not hard to find. Because he's 7 feet tall, a little over 7 feet tall, a little over 400 pounds of lean muscle, wearing jeans, an undershirt that mostly fits, and work boots. He's just sort of sitting there, clenching hands.
Grudek will come up and sort of glance up at the full moon and then down at Shadow, and say softly, "You're doing really well with the pants. I know, trust me. I know from my first time, that was the worst part. You're doing very well. Come, the new arrival is here from over in Ireland. It looks like all of us are together. We should go and meet and talk. Or grunt, whatever you're comfortable with."
Right. Just stand up. And
Grudek sort of starts to put out a hand to help him up and then immediately takes it back as Shadow just jumps to his feet.
Just vroom, and just will follow Grudek as this tall, barely contained rage machine.
As they're walking back, Grudek turns and says, "Now, did you remember to eat tonight? I know sometimes with the moon is in your aspects, sometimes it's tough to remember. If you didn't, you let me know. I'll make sure to get something."
I had meat.
Good. Was it cooked?
No.
Okay. All right. Don't worry. It's okay. We ease you in. Next time I bring some smoked meat. Sort of halfway. It's okay. Come on.
Right.
Bridge Runner has been waiting in the tent area, alternately sort of cracking up at what he's been overhearing, and then lapsing into his usual half melancholy, half bitter sort of demeanor. But then when he sees Grudek and Shadow approaching, he does a quick visual head count. And then
Suffering fucking Christ, that guy's a monster.
That's the number 5.
I sort of walk
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
straight to Tig. Hold a hand out.
How are you then, big fella?
Hello.
He'll grab it.
Do my best not to crush the hand.
Tig's kind of flexing that right hand as it comes back a little bit, but he seems to have managed to walk away with all his fingers.
Yep. I'm Shadow.
Tig, nice to meet you.
And this is all of us.
Right.
Grudek leans into to Bridge Runner and says, "Don't worry. I gave the little ones last time story, put them to bed. Everything all taken care of."
Thank you. Thank you for your help. All right. Are you all ready? Are you settled in? Do you want to hear what your task is going to be?
Grudek peers at Tig and says, "Are you tired? Do you need to rest first?
You don't have to
Come
start
along,
right
mate.
away.
You can get sleep. It's okay to get sleep."
Honestly, this is about the time of day that I'd be normally getting up, what with the time zone changes, so I'm fair ready to go.
All right.
That's
Well,
the best way to be jet lag.
I'll let you know what your task is, and you can start right away. You can get a good night's sleep first, whatever you want. It's up to your judgment how you want to approach this. This is part of the test, right? So this is your rite of passage. This is, it can be almost anything, but as it happens, I didn't have to make up some crazy obstacle course for you or lure some banes here for you to cut your teeth on. We got an actual problem that we would like you to try and solve. One of our Cairn guardians, we call her Honey Bee. She's a young woman who hails from the Silicon Valley, and her mom's a high-ranking glasswalker at the glasswalker set down there. You know, they're the techno wolves. They get into all this Weaver nonsense. Anyway, her mom's a high-ranking glasswalker theurge who made her this fancy little fetish. It's a smartphone with a Weaver spirit trapped inside it. Now, Honey Bee chose to join the Children of Gaia. She's one of us. But she's got a bit of glasswalker in her nature still, and she likes to spend a lot of time in the city. A little obsessed with fashion. She carries a real nice bag, and she's also a little absent-minded. And all that sort of added up to bad news. A couple of weeks ago, a thief yanked that real nice bag off her shoulder while she was shopping in the city and got away clean. And of course, she'd put the damn phone in her purse. So it would have been a hopeless loss to us and the glasswalkers both, since they're the ones made the fetish. If not for the fact that her parents, unknown to her, had put a tracking spell on the phone. She wasn't too happy to hear about that, but we were real happy because the glasswalkers told us exactly where the phone is. And it's going to be your job to get it back without breaking the litany, without breaking any human laws, or at least not getting caught doing so. Not damaging the veil. You know about the veil, right? Humans aren't supposed to know about us. And there are consequences for revealing any of our secrets to them, or our existence for that matter. So without breaking the veil. And bring it back without causing us any further trouble. All right, that's your task. Do you think you can handle it? Mind you, there's only one correct answer to this question.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well,
Now-
Of course.
All right.
You're,
Now,
you're playing my fucking
leans
song
over to
there.
Shadow very quickly and says, "Okay, now remember, phone is small box that homage used to talk to each other from far away.
Why would you use a box?
They're not good at howling."
Ah.
Now, I spoke with Cecily's mom, Honeybee's mom, sorry, and she says the phone's been in one place for more than a week. So it's either been discarded or it's been stored somewhere. It may be broken or the battery might be dead, but the magic parts are still working, thankfully. So I can tell you exactly where it is because the glasswalkers told me. It is on the 5th floor of a single-room occupancy building called the Mills Hotel on Kearney Street. I don't know anything about the place except that it's in kind of a sketchy part of town, so obviously stay together. You know, just watch your backs. I got the address right here, and he hands it to C without any hesitation, like, you know,
He takes it.
default pack leader, basically. The sooner and cleaner you can get that thing back for us, the better. Now, do you have any questions?
Does Grudik know the neighborhood at all from the relatively short amount of time he spent in San Francisco?
He's heard of Kearney Street before, and he knows that it goes through some pretty sketchy areas, but that's probably about all he'd know.
Okay.
Sort of same question for Thistle, but also Thistle will ask aloud. So if this is a glasswalker thing, is there any like don't touch it, should just like taking the phone back and physically bring it here be fine, or is there something else we need to do?
That's a good question. I appreciate your caution. This fetish can basically be handled just like any other phone. It behaves to all practical purposes like a regular phone unless you know how to activate it.
Yeah. So, like, physically bringing it here, walking should be fine for the fetishness of it.
Yep. And you can also, but you'll have to bring it in the physical world rather than the spirit world because it ain't dedicated to you. So if you try to shift while you're holding it, it ain't going to go with you. So, yeah.
All right. And do we have a time limit?
Nope. But
right.
just keep in mind that we know where it is now. And it has been stable for a while, which means that it's, like I said, it's either been discarded or it's been stored. But you're also kind of being scored on this. So the quicker, the better.
Other than the tracking that was placed on it, was there anything else that the spirit bound to the phone was supposed to do? Were there powers that the honeybee used it for?
Yes, but I don't believe I'm at liberty to disclose those.
Is honeybee here in the Sept, or is she still in the city?
She is, at the moment, sent home to her parents because she is in serious trouble.
Grudek whistles and steps back.
But if you're asking because you were curious about like a witness to the incident, her friend Cher was with her. But good luck getting anything out of Cher.
Yeah, Grudek immediately looks hopeful when it's mentioned that there was a witness, and then his face falls when Bridge Runner says it was Cher. Kind of glances around at the others and says, "Oh, well, I guess we could start by asking her. Very nice, always."
We know where the prey is. Why not simply go?
There's a lot of information to gather first. But
where's the share bird at then?
She'll be around here somewhere. She might be sleeping. Do you want me to find her and bring her to you?
Oh, we can. There's no need to trouble yourself. We can. I'm sure we at least would generally know where to find her. Is she with her pack?
Yeah, she's got her own tent. The Guardians have their own tents that they sleep in here when they're sleeping every night. And Cher is not currently on watch, which means she's probably sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do y'all need anything further from me, or should I go back to watching the little ones?
Well, brief question, although this might just be because I'm the new one here, but
by all means.
Getting into the city, how are we going to arrange that? I mean, I assume it's a bit far to walk in the dark, eh?
He gestures to see. Yep.
Brilliant.
And by the way, for default purposes, treat C as your pack alpha. Y'all can work it out among yourselves once you're officially instated.
And he kind of shudders at
that. But for now, because he's the half moon, the Philodox, that's sort of his default role when you're not actively at war. So C is in charge if there's any dispute or disagreement about what to do.
I will extend a closed fist towards C, as I have seen other Hamids do.
C, assuming that he doesn't know exactly how to go through with it, just does a basic fist bump and does most of the motion himself.
And then pull it back.
Grudek goes, no, blow it up.
Why would I blow up my hand?
Oh, come on. We talked about this because it's cool, you know.
Oh,
not
the motion.
Not physically.
The motion.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry,
all right,
the moon has me a little on edge.
So
It's all right. Like I said, it's okay. We'll walk you through it. Like I said, you're dressed. That's a great first step. Everything else we'll work through.
All right. Bridge Runner, if you'll give us a moment to discuss, I think we will be able to take it from here.
All right. Well, if you should need me, I'm in the second cabin, the smaller one with the little ones, and just not quiet though because they're sleeping. So, and he gives y'all a little wave and heads off. There's 2 cabins in the area. Most people just sleep in tents, but there's actually 2 cabins that have been built in the area. And he heads to the smaller one and slips inside, closes the door behind him.
All right, so as soon as Bridge Runner is gone, C finds a stump or something sitting on the ground and sits down on it. All right.
This'll plop down with that sort of lead.
Before we start going anywhere, we need to make sure that we all know what each other will be doing and what roles we're best at fulfilling. Tig, as the newest member, you should probably be introduced into first what the moons of each of your companions are. As Bridge Runner said, I am a half moon. Shadow, as you might be able to tell, is of the full moon.
All right.
Grudek, Thistle.
Grudek will gesture to Thistle.
Fuck, I was just looking at this page.
Crescent moon.
Thanks. Crescent, which is the spirit stuff.
Aye, then.
And Grudek will do sort of a little half bow and says, and I was born under the gibbous moon. I'm a Galliard. Grudek, by the way. I don't think I introduced myself earlier.
No shite. My dad's a Galliard.
Oh, I am not surprised. I've heard wonderful things about the stories and the songs sung by the Fianna Galliard.
Oh, the man can spin his tail, that's for sure.
If we need human names, it's Yurick Yankiewicz, but everyone called me Grudek.
My name is Thistle.
Right. And sea and shadow, yeah?
Yes.
Right.
Right then. Well,
And so,
guess we'll be doing our best.
basic breakdown will be in matters of force. Shadow takes the lead. In matters of communication, Grudek or myself, if that is not viable. In deeds of magic, obviously Thistle has the most expertise. And your own moon sign.
Oh, I'm Chaos and Bloody Mayhem.
Of the new moon.
That's for sure.
Which means if we need a creative solution, then you are our answer.
Creative.
I've got a couple ideas. For instance, and also, is it not bothering anybody that a thief didn't immediately try and shift a cell phone?
It bothers
A little
me
bit concerning.
It bothers me more that the Garou let it get away.
You can't rip someone's throat out in the middle of a city, Shadow.
Right. Right.
I was thinking about that, Ty. I was wondering, perhaps it was sold and this new location is the home of the new owner. Or perhaps they're holding on to it for a period of time to let the search die down.
It's
Well,
San
I mean,
Francisco.
that would make
it's
sense if
quite
it was-
possible it's just in a stash of tons and tons. And phones, credit cards, those get stolen en masse.
They did
That's
take
what
the
I'm
whole purse. Maybe they haven't even gone through it yet.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we better get some information from the share girl then.
Yes.
She's not always the most communicative. She's at least supposedly doesn't speak much English. Pretty sure I may have heard her speaking it to packmates, so I'm not sure. She may be, how do you say, fucking with me, but mostly she speaks Russian, which is I can get maybe one word in 5.
Right then.
Michelle, you said Cher's one of the Guardians?
Mm-hmm.
Do I, having been training with Yarun, do I know anything about her?
You know that there is a pack that is assigned to the defense of the sept, but they're not all Arun. They're varying auspices. So you've never like trained with Cher or anything, so you assume she's not an Arun.
Okay.
Cher isn't one of the people that I know, is it?
You probably haven't seen her much unless she was one of the people who occasionally lets you in. She's just like a young blonde woman. The most striking feature of her is she has a huge gap between her front teeth. Other than that, she's just kind of a cute blonde girl who doesn't talk that much. And when she does, it's heavily accented broken English.
So we'll have to see what we can communicate with her to get any information. But that might be a good place to start. Can any of you drive?
Yeah. I have got a license, but I don't have my own car.
I used to herd sheep in Italy.
That's
Not that
really
kind of
good,
driving,
Shadow. That's really good.
Oh.
And by herding sheep, is that mostly chasing them down and eating them, or actually like...
Restraint was being taught.
Right then, well...
How well did it take?
Fantastic!
I did not eat all of them.
I'm sure the survivors were kind and
Sorry.
grateful.
All right, so it looks like I'll be driving the vehicle then.
I
All
can if you need an extra hand on the wheel, but it sounds like the two of you probably have more experience than I do.
Well,
I've never
First
driven
off-
anything legally.
well, then let's start with the information we can get here at the cairn then before we take off.
Grunek cocks his head for a moment to consider that one, but doesn't comment.
So Grudek would know, if no one else, Grudek would know which tent is Cher's. She probably shares her tent with the other female members of her pack, but he knows where it's located anyway.
So we'll head over there unless anybody else.
Yep.
Okay.
Either way, Boyle.
I will just
Does it
just
seem-
loom behind everyone else.
Does it seem like they're awake as we get closer?
The tent flap is open so that you can see inside, and there's only one person in it, and it is Cher, and she does appear to be lightly snoring. She was apparently not super excited about the guest arriving.
Grunek will walk over, stand outside the tent, and clear his throat to see if that'll wake her up.
She leaps to her feet so abruptly that she actually hits her head on the roof of the tent, which doesn't hurt too much because it's a tent. And then she turns around and kind of blinks a few times, and then she spots Grudek and breaks out in a huge gap-toothed smile and says, "Oh, privyet!" And she comes out and puts her arms out to give Grudek a great big hug.
Grunek will return the hug and say, sorry, didn't mean to wake you. Well, I guess I did mean to wake you, but sorry for doing so. We have quick questions for you.
Oh, okay.
You know Honeybee?
Honeybee, yes.
With phone, yes? It was stolen?
Right. Okay.
And you saw it?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
I saw.
Honeybee, she's a year from Bridge Runner. She's gone home. Is in her parents are not so happy.
Big trouble. Big trouble.
Right. What did you see who took it, or how it was taken? And who was that?
Was not man, not boy. Young man. 13.
Teenager?
Maybe 12 years old, maybe.
Grunek will start sort of putting his hand for height.
And she puts her hand like around 5'2"-ish, somewhere a little over 5 feet. These small.
Oh, good. And did you get the smell?
No, very very quick. Very quick, small.
And you were all Hamid in the city.
In shopping.
Grunek leans back to Shadow and goes, "That's where you buy things from stores."
That's how I got my pants.
She seems to notice Tig for the first time and looks completely distracted for a moment as has this sort of vague, "Who the hell is this?" look on her face.
Oh,
and for a moment, her generally vague look really sharpens, and she just kind of gives Tig a once over.
Cher
Are you
is
then, love?
Tig, new arrival. And then Grudek will sort of motion you forward.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
kind of
Привет.
step
Okay.
forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello?
we're gonna go get the phone back from whoever the wee bastard is that stole it.
Вы говорите по-русски?
Sorry, what was that?
No русский. Okay. Okay.
I don't speak
Oh,
much.
sorry, no, I
believe she would
don't. I
ask
don't
me if you
speak any Russian. No.
Okay. Okay.
Might have to learn.
Michelle is like, no.
More question? More question? No?
Anything else you can think to tell us about him, about little one?
No, very волосы. What is
Color, hair.
hair?
I'll point at the various, because we have a fairly large representation of hair colors.
Yeah, we make a United Colors of Benetton ad as we all line up and sort of gesture back and forth.
She looks thoughtfully at each of you.
Red hair,
And then
brown hair,
points her-
abs.
Points to her own hair, which is just
Blonde.
standard blonde. Yeah, a fairly sort of light ash blonde. And she points to her own hair, and then makes sort of a gesture, like kind of.
Short, long, in between.
She points to Thistle.
Okay.
Short. Got it.
Tig will just go. You have glasses on or anything?
No,
Now,
Anything
because
else
Ty
odd
has
about-
done that, Shadow is over here going as if there's something different if you do that.
Anything else you can think that was strange?
no, it happened in city. Honeybee, she not look. It happened
Do you remember
many time
many time?
in city. Not strange.
Honeybee's been stolen from before then.
No, in city. People, not strange.
There's a lot of.
All right, yeah.
I'm doing Irish. I'm sorry.
There are a lot of people in the city.
People get stolen from in the city a lot, especially in those regions.
Especially if they're not comfortable paying attention.
Shit more than out that I'm here.
Points to both of them and taps her nose.
All right,
Was place with many bad people. Good shops, bad people.
I think
Should we-
Rick laughs at that. Just genuinely happy at the joke.
and very good bag she had not now, but was good bag, very good. He take.
What did it look like?
Was black leather, large.
Yeah. I could see how that happens.
well,
Just on shoulder, he just take and run.
Yeah.
I think we might have something to go on here. Do you have any other questions you might want to ask Grudek?
No, that's everything. Sure. Thank you
Thistle
so much.
will illustrate with their own bag to Shadow how the bag was being worn.
He's just going to try to...
Like that.
He's just going to see if he can take the bag off.
Gives it to him.
Put it back.
It's not too heavy. It's
It's
just
okay.
sort
I
of a
can-
canvas
Yeah,
backpack.
then he'll give it back.
I can sleep. Is okay? I sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aye, go back to
Thanks
sleep.
for
Thank
all
you
your
so
help.
much.
It's really appreciated.
Okay. Okay.
I bring you back something from city.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
And
Thank you,
she
Chef.
crawls back into the tent and just flops back down and instantly starts snoring.
All right. Well, that's a starting point.
I
Yeah.
if there's anything else we want to do around the cairn, we should do it now. But I have maybe some others in the city we could talk to.
I'm really sorry. Maybe I missed this. Do we know where they were when it was stolen?
Bad
Just
place.
the same area.
Bad people. Good shops.
Do I know what shopping?
No
what shopping
offense,
district
Shadow. That
sounds like?
describes a lot of San Francisco.
Given the address that that they handed directly to C on Kearney Street, he could probably assume that it is like at least vaguely in that area. And he can think of a few general areas where there are shops that have decent merchandise, but also like a lot of homeless people and panhandlers and crime rates and stuff. But it's not clear like necessarily which area
Yeah,
it
it's
was.
not like one shopping center, but
Yeah.
there's a small stretch.
Yeah.
I'm sort of wondering if, and it probably won't change our thinking on what we want to do, but having all the information is nice. If it's probably the same general area, same neighborhood, or if it's something where it's been moved across town or across the bridge.
We might be able to find some information from the shopping center, but I think our best solution might be simply to go directly for the hotel, purchase a room for the evening, and find our way into our known room. Perhaps it is a hotel room. Typically, people only stay for a certain amount of time. So,
well, Bridge Runner did mention that it's a, didn't he? I think.
Yeah,
Did he
single
mention-
occupancy.
Yeah, which is
It's an
so it is a
apartment
long-term apartment
okay, it's
building.
apartment building. Okay.
But yeah, a lot of them are called hotels for whatever reason.
yeah, okay.
Marketing.
It's
Local knowledge. It's a San Francisco taxes thing because we have this weird population problem. So a lot of the hotels versus apartments versus leases versus versus internet rentals always compete for what they're allowed to do. So people will change their classification, but not their function.
Okay.
Yeah, but generally these types of buildings are not, the people who stay in them are usually either it's usually either transitional housing for homeless people or really, really sort of sketchy populations living in buildings like this. So C would probably be aware of that. And
that makes sense.
Do I know offhand of any Bonars or Bonar kinfolk that live in or around Kearney Street?
Weirdly enough, they avoid that area just completely. Like it's too scuzzy even for them.
Okay.
Which is telling in and of itself, probably.
Right. Okay.
We've got a location and we've got the suspect in mind. So I figure we head straight down there and see what we can find. Kearney Street, they said?
Yes.
Right.
I knew a Kearney once. Sean Kearney. Right fucker he was.
Well, this street seems to have the same reputation. We should
so
probably...
it's full of dickheads that are trying to steal your girl.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, fantastic. All right,
if the girl in this case is a phone, then yes, it's perfect. Would it be worth, out of character, does it seem like it would be worth touching base with Bongos or any of the other Bonars, or it's kind of off their map?
Sounds like a no to me.
Yeah, I mean, given that the Bonars don't really hang out in that area, it's kind of not within their territory. He probably wouldn't know much more than any San Francisco person would know.
All right, for narrative flow, let's skip that part.
All right,
and jump along.
All right, so follow me out of the cairn. I'll get you all to my vehicle, and fortunately, it's large enough for 5.
Okay.
Even one as big as Shadow.
What kind of car is it?
Small truck, but...
Well, it's got a real American truck, like with pickup.
Yes.
Just FYI, in case it changes any of your approaches to anything, it's around like 9:30 p.m. or so, time-wise.
Nightfall.
Like, are we? I'm
Perfect timing.
fine with it. Are we going at night? Like,
I think we should. If we're trying to do this subtle, like, it'd be good to see if we can sneak a body or two in there.
We've basically got two options. We can go at night, when we're less likely to be observed, and see what we can find, or if we go during the day, we have a better opportunity for reconnaissance. We have better visibility. We have better. The thing is, thieves like this will likely be either out during the day or out at night. They typically have hours of operation, so.
We generally run at night, actually, at least on my side of the.
This
pond.
one was
Like-
stolen during the day.
I'm not saying that this group or this guy doesn't have a time of operation. It's just, it seems like shady places usually have eyes at all hours. But whatever the group thinks is.
Can I make like an intelligence and larceny roll to know anything about building securities? Or is that outside my wheelhouse at this point?
You wouldn't be able to know anything about this particular building security, no.
See.
Good. Oh,
Shadow.
I mean, you know nothing but its name at this point, so
Would it-
for all you know, it could be a burned out pile of ash.
Right, no, that's fair.
A 5-story burned out pile of
Right,
ash.
which
But
somehow the phone is hovering 5 stories above.
Would it be useful if you need eyes that don't attract attention? For me to hide in the shadows?
Yes, actually, as long as you can make sure that no one will see you.
On all fours, I blend into the darkness.
We may
Rick.
need that, but hold on to it for now.
Rick kind of holds up a hand. He says, "Actually, we might blend in even better if we look like we belong there. We go and we look like how people think bone gnawers always look. Maybe we go set up, find a place to rest, watch the building overnight if we can't get in."
Yes. And we can find a place to watch from, but first, let's get there and see how it looks before we decide our plan.
if
Can we
there's
grab a chip shop on the way?
Shit.
they're
Don't-
called fries.
We still
Oh,
got some
shit.
dinner.
Right.
I made some just a little bit good. Can I get you a bowl of something before we go?
Well, if you got something on hand, sure.
Bigos, hunter stew. You'll love it. Don't
If you
worry. I'll be right
mind,
back.
I'm gonna go buy mine real quick. Grabs. If there's a possibility we're going to be, I guess, dressing a certain way. I have some extra clothes and. I mean, I have things that will fit everyone. I don't think necessarily best things.
Whatever you can
Looking
provide will be
to-
appreciated.
Looking to tag, unless you like skirts.
This is my normal kit.
Okay,
What?
I'm Irish,
and,
not Scottish.
I'll grab a few jackets or something.
And for mechanical purposes, when I'm in wolf form, I have 8 dice for my stealth. So
I think Grudek is already sort of running off, and he'll come back in a few minutes with wearing a pretty threadbare overcoat. It's sort of a washed-out brown, and a tan, large-brimmed cowboy hat. And he also has a travel mug that's full of some sort of hot steaming stew. And he hands
Grudek's
that to Tyke.
Ah,
Grudek's
wicked on you,
actually
mate.
a
Jesus
fairly
loves
good
you.
cook, if I have to say.
I see. I couldn't hear you.
I said Grudek's actually a fairly good cook, if I can say myself.
Thank you. Say that. Well, that warms my heart.
Well, this shit's warming my stomach, and it's already half gone.
There you go.
Teenagers.
All right, let's get there. Thistle, do you need a place? Do you need me to drop you off at a place to get supplies?
No, I've got. This'll probably ran off when Grudik did. if we need something really specific, I can get us that, but I've got to, and we'll pull out a few essentially oversized jackets. One that has like the logo of whichever team lost the Super Bowl that is in the past in our current timeline, but in the future in this timeline.
Last year's losers.
All right.
Last
Don't
year's
ask
losers
me
is my
which
Panic
one
at the
that
Disco
is.
cover band.
I just recently found out that a certain team is not a lacrosse team, but is instead an American football team.
That was the best conversation of the day. Anyway,
All right.
Tig is just going to follow because as soon as they talk about leaving the cairn, he has no idea which way to go.
All right. Well, this way. Let's get going. C starts to make his way out of the cairn.
Okay, so
I-
it'll take you guys about an hour to walk from the cairn entrance to the overflow parking where they let C park his SUV. You have an SUV, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere between an SUV and a truck, so it's one of those weird vehicles.
I have a question.
Shadow's gonna have to ride shotgun because there's no way he'll fit in the back.
Yeah.
With anybody.
Would I even fit shotgun?
Probably.
Is there a sunroof?
He might have to slash.
You fit shotgun if you lean the seat all the way back, which means the smallest person needs to sit in the back behind Shadow.
Would it make sense for some of us to shift into lupus form for the drive?
No.
Okay.
I mean, this is a city, right? There's going to be cops, and if they see like a freaking wolf in the car, they're probably going to freak out. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, wolves aren't legal pets in California, unfortunately.
We
And
do
they-
have to shift into Krynos to get out of the cairn, though, right?
Yeah, but the park is closed, so it's only
Okay.
once you get out of the park, once you drive to the city, that it's going to be a problem. I mean, you could be in
Okay.
lupus form
Just
in the parking lot, no problem, but then you have to shift.
for that process, can I spend 2 of my rage to shift in and out of Krynos form?
We're just going to assume that all works. I mean, because it's not dramatically interesting if
Okay.
one
I
of you.
think he's trying to bleed off some rage.
I'm
Get out.
trying to
He's
bleed off
he's
some
trying to
rage.
bleed.
Nope. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, dude.
That's fine.
All right, so I'm assuming you guys are just going to drive to the address that Bridge Runner gave C.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just-
Okay.
And while we're on the way, I just while I've got my eyes on the road, if any of you need funds for anything small, I can probably cover expenses for most things that aren't incredibly significant. I can't buy you a car, but I can definitely get some clothing or some food if need be.
I can help out with that. Sorry. I don't know how this pack thing works.
If I'm supposed to be the leader, speak up when you need to speak up.
I also have a fair bit of cash. I've got my own job, independent resources. So like, I don't want to throw all of the financial burden on you, but I'm also not taking important stuff away from you, if that's okay.
That's fine. I believe in making everyone be useful when they need to and can.
Mhm.
So if we both got a skill that we can exercise, we'll both use it.
Right.
Right fancy do up for the lot of you then. I'm what
Do you
they
mean-
call I'm what they call skint fucking broke. So
I'll make sure you're taken care of.
I don't
Yeah.
have a wallet.
I would get you a wallet, but I feel like you would lose it very quickly.
The
We'll give him
problem
a
with
chain.
wallet
I
is
don't need a wallet.
we kind of bamf out of existence on occasion.
Yeah.
Or I don't think that's what my mentor would want me to call it.
Stepping sideways.
I
yes.
have what they call a crisis of identity.
Grudek looks
Welcome-
very excited and gives him
Welcome
two
to-
thumbs
I
up.
have so much advice, but probably not the best time.
In that I have no identity. Says indicating no
Oh,
wallet.
shite. I don't have any paperwork either, I don't think.
Grudek immediately starts taking notes in a notebook, and he's sort of mumbling to himself, "Shortest time from lupus to Hamid to puns ever."
Completely unintentional because he doesn't know what crisis of identity means.
Oh, pronouns.
Am
I
I one of
totally
those
didn't
fucking-
ask.
Do I look like an
Right.
English teacher to you?
No.
What are your pronouns?
Sorry,
Uh,
what's the question? I don't
Ty,
understand the question.
Tig? Thistle goes by Z. Is it?
These are there's I can explain it. I just sorry, gut reaction. I'm used to people here pretending they don't understand because they don't like me.
I like you fine. What's this about pronouns?
So most
right, as
people,
in-
wolves, homids, whatever, have genders.
I'm catching up with you
I
now.
do, but mine is the third. Take the third option, gender.
All right.
And genders in English have associated pronouns. Which ones do you want me to use for you?
I roll with he's and hims.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And-
Shadow?
and-
I am Shadow.
So if I was talking, sorry, see, I'm supposed
it's-
to let other people be in charge.
It's fine. This is. Remember what I said about people doing their own specialty. This is your specialty.
Yeah, okay. So Shadow, if I'm talking to C about you, like I'm letting C know where you went, do you want me to say she went to the forest to get the thing, or he, or they?
You can tell he's really trying to process it.
So
It's okay if you don't know. It's totally okay to say I want to think about it if that's easier.
male, female, or neither. Shadow.
Male. Shadow.
And I would assume Thistle and Grudek have probably already had this conversation.
Yeah.
But Grudek's pronouns are male.
And so are C's. He's
Yeah.
like, because he knows yours, you probably know his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was told Thistle was a tree.
I am wolf, I am tree, I am human, I am garu. I am not male, I am not female. But I'm not tree instead of being male or female. At least I don't think.
Poor Shadow.
My gender is not tree.
Wait.
Thistle
No,
is a
that might
Thistle is a tree you
get
don't
back
mark.
to me on that one.
Thistle's a flower, actually.
I think
Yeah,
Shadow might get about halfway through that sentence, and Grudek's like, mm-mm.
I picked that before I knew about this, but
In the pack.
plant spirits and I. Well, if we step sideways, it'll be really obvious. So I'll explain it then.
In the pack, we refer to each other by what we are. I am Shadow.
I am Thistle. I totally get that Gauru might mean other names later, but that's the name I am at least now.
Then I call you Thistle.
Okay.
I don't think you'll have to worry about
I would
pronouns. of
appreciate
any
if you also
kind
use
coming
my
from Shadow.
pronouns, but I understand you are getting used to the existence of pronouns as a linguistic concept overall.
At the very least, I don't think you have to worry about him using the wrong pronouns.
That is true. Also, I'm going to correct you. It's not a judgy thing. It's not a you need to apologize lots thing. It's just a reflex.
Reflexes
Understood.
are good.
I'm with Shadow on that one.
All right.
All right, we should only be a few minutes
And
out now.
eventually, the awkward car conversation is over. Sorry.
Grunek leans forward across the divider in the front and starts playing with the radio.
So
When Grunek leans
eventually-
back, Shadow immediately goes back up and starts playing with the radio too because he doesn't know what it is.
So eventually, you following your GPS or whatever, I assume, you find yourself
Ways.
in the southwest corner of the financial district, and you find the Kearney Street address that the Glasswalkers gave you. And it appears to be a 5-story brown building with a faded sign that says Mills Hotel right on it, so you can't miss it. There is no super obvious parking, so C will probably have to drive around a little while to find a
We
place.
should
Probably
probably
drive around the
park-
block, see if we
I
can find
mean,
something nearby.
We should
That's
probably
as
park
good an
far away.
excuse as any to look around the neighborhood a little bit as you drive.
Yeah, and
The
it's
only-
it's a pretty it's a dense neighborhood. Like the buildings are just crammed together. The Mills Hotel itself is sandwiched between 2 different bars. And then there's a coffee shop on the corner. And just there's like a money changer, cash payday loan place, and there's just like and they're all just crammed
Yeah.
right together. And even at this hour, there's just people everywhere. Some homeless, some not. None of them looking particularly posh. C's clothing would probably stand out a little.
Yeah.
Tig will probably fit right in. And yeah, but that's what you're dealing with.
The only problem with parking too far away is unless we post a guard, someone would be able to steal the vehicle without any of us being able to notice.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, I'm thinking maybe even parking sort of the next neighborhood over.
Somewhere a little bit less shady.
Yeah, and also somewhere that people probably wouldn't notice us parking and getting out and then trying to look like we're crashing for the night in an alley or something.
Actually, is there a parking garage a little distance away somewhere?
Yeah, there's probably
This'll will like pull out Google Street View or something and start looking
you can
for place.
find fairly expensive but existent public parking within a few blocks probably.
I mean, a parking garage is the safest place to leave this thing and then walk a few blocks away. So,
I think that's probably what we should do.
All right.
I mean, I find a
Alright.
parking garage.
Okay.
I mean mug everybody looking at us the whole way.
So I assume you're going to park in the garage and then walk back to the Mills Hotel?
Yeah, and when C gets out of the vehicle, he pulls his jacket, which is this sort of black leather biker jacket that it looks well made, but he's been wearing it for so long that it's been tattered down a little bit just by time. So just cover up the very fashionable looking shirt with a
Cool.
somewhat more worn jacket.
Little
This'll will
Just add a bit, yeah.
do you have like a glove compartment?
Pop the glove compartment.
Yeah. I'll take out like my little first aid kit and shove that in the understanding that doesn't come with me if we step sideways, but shove that in the pocket of my jacket, and the rest of the bag goes in the glove compartment.
I will.
Unless anyone needs, and we'll pull out a few energy bars. Anyone need extra food?
Oh, hit me.
Toss you one.
What is
of
that?
course,
He
yes, thank you.
immediately eats it.
Yeah.
like a trash compactor.
Grunek tucks one into his pocket.
What is that?
It's
It-
food for later.
This'll hand it out. You pull off the wrapper, and it's. Have you had oatmeal?
No.
I keep trying, but he's slow in coming
Have
to
you
brains.
seen bread?
Yes.
It's kind of like bread, but in a different shape.
Okay.
I also have some jerky, which is meat that's been salted.
That I know.
Do you want that?
Not right now, but thank you.
Cool. Sure. The closest I've been to doing anything like this was a group project, which is a school thing. I hope I'm being helpful.
You're absolutely being helpful, Thistle.
So
Thank you very
Shadow
much.
will hand the bar back to Thistle. You are very
Sorry.
helpful.
And before he leaves the vehicle entirely, C taps one of the roof tiles on it and opens up the compartment that he's had that is supposed to be storage. Checks in there, which has his sword hidden in it. Make sure it's still safe. Closes it again.
Sword.
Can't take that one with me, unfortunately.
Yeah, might draw a little attention.
Is it silver? Can we sense it, or is it?
No, it's not.
It would
silver,
be
just
kind of
sword.
gauche for a werewolf to have a silver sword.
Well, it'd be like a glaive.
Some werewolves do carry silver weapons, but none of you guys would be so honored
Yeah, no, that's
at this point.
I think
That-
Mr. Lineage of Heroes over here would probably be the most likely to whip out a glaive.
I can turn my claws. I will be able to turn my claws into silver later on, so I'll be fine.
no, that's just the one thing that I've got marked to protect me when I'm in the Umbra.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's fair.
And Michelle, I sent you a whisper on Roll20.
Oh,
It's not anything super secret, but I just didn't want to slow things down.
okay.
Should we roll perception or anything on the alertness on the way back?
I forget how to answer you secretly back, but the answer is yes.
Okay. To the
/W and then
to all
space,
three?
start typing their name.
Okay.
Mhm.
It should pop up.
Okay, there we go. Did that work? Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, for the sake of narrative efficiency, we'll say that nobody attempts to mug you or anything on your way
That would
to.
be an easy solution to the
I am
quest.
very saddened.
So,
Please mug
so you
Shadow.
find yourself after a bit of a walk, you find yourself without major incident, standing in front of the Mills Hotel, and it has a single entrance and some windows, fire escape, that kind of thing. Just brown brick building, kind of crummy looking.
Ty will go up and try the door.
It is open. It is not locked.
Well, that one was a freebie.
Grunik opens his mouth and puts
there-
a finger up and then just closes it and puts the finger back down.
There's some sort of like streetwise or intelligence larceny thing I could do just to case the building is a little strong, but get like a general sense of.
Yeah, you can be our first roll of the Chronicle
Okay.
if you like. Let's do. So you're just trying to get a feel for what exactly?
Like sort of the layout of the building, where our target thing might be relative to us, what.
Okay, so go ahead and do.
This is a local, like what this building might be laid out like.
Is he trying to figure it out based on what Z's seeing, or on what Z is like already aware of as far as knowledge of how the city works?
This is mostly visual. Like,
Okay.
obviously, if you see a fire escape, you know what that is because you
Right.
live somewhere where fire escapes exist.
Okay, so let's do
But,
perception and streetwise difficulty 7.
okay.
I would also like to just sort of start sniffing and see if I can tell how many people are in the building. I don't know if I can do that, but Shadow would try.
Streetwise stat. Oh, yes, I just don't have any of it. That's cool.
Shadow,
And-
do perception and primal urge.
Okay.
Difficulty also 7.
And I want to see if I
I'm
can spot
really
any.
sorry to. You said 7?
Yeah, difficulty 7.
And
Cool.
mine
So-
was also 7.
Yep. perception streetwise for Thistle, perception primal urge for Shadow.
And I want to see if I can spot
but
any
not a crit
cats
fail.
or rats or pigeons.
Wait,
Sorry,
and
I didn't mean to talk over you.
Grudek is rolling for what?
He's trying to see if he can spot any cats or rats or stray dogs or pigeons or anything around.
Visually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or nasally, but my perception is a little limited in Hamid form.
3 successes,
Yeah.
1's a 10.
Okay.
My perception specialty is keen smell.
Okay. In that case, there are, for a building of its size, and you've gotten like a vague sense, you've been in the city before, like shopping with Rips for clothes and stuff, and you're used to smelling a lot more people inside a building of that size than you smell inside of this one. It seems not entirely vacant, but more empty than you would expect for a 5-story building
Just
like this.
very like
That's supposedly a residential building.
so just very softly. Not enough people inside.
Tyg makes eye contact with C and just kind of jerks his head towards the stairs. And if he doesn't get a immediate negative, he's going to just hit the stairs and start heading up to the top floor.
C actively gives him a nod, but he does say, "Keep quiet. We don't want any undue attention."
And Grudek, I'm going to need you to do perception and primal urge also. And because you're in Hamid form, it's going to be difficulty 8.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
All right. So weirdly, Grudek, you don't see any pigeons, but you swear you can smell them.
Okay. Very nearby. I mean, it's nighttime, so they'd probably be roosting.
Let's see, how many successes was it?
2.
Yeah, you can't tell. You just have like a faint sense of pigeon scent, but you can't really tell from what direction or how nearby. But you don't see or hear any pigeons.
Okay. All right.
So Tyg's going to move to the 5th floor as quietly as possible.
I think rather than staying outside and
So
trying to
Tyg has
shout and
just
wake up some
gone
pigeons.
straight into the building, huh? Is anyone following him in, or has he
yeah,
just gone in
C-
by himself?
C is also following, just keeping a faint distance behind, trying to be quiet.
Did I get any reaction from C when I said there weren't enough people in the building?
He nodded and, well, that makes our job easier and a little bit more curious.
No.
Keep an eye out.
I'll just
So
follow C then.
Tyg is the first into the building, and then the rest of you guys are following.
Well, I think what Grudek does, Grudek is sitting and sort of looking around under cars and trying to scan ledges to see if he sees any animals. And then he turns around and everybody's already gone inside the building. And he's like, oh, cholera! And he turns and runs inside after everybody else.
So it's weirdly dark inside. There's maybe one working light bulb on this floor. There's a hallway that the street. You're heading east as you head into the building, and you can see what looks like a leasing office, but it's all shut up. There's no light under the door or anything. The door is closed. It says leasing office or whatever on the sign. And there's some other closed doors, but the brightest light is toward the back of the building where you can just faintly see what looks like, kind of a landing where there would be stairs and elevator and stuff, like toward the back of the building. But and you can also hear the faint sounds of people. Like if you listen, you hear the occasional cough or maybe you hear the
TVs and
distant
stuff,
droning
yeah.
sound of one television somewhere.
As I'm following C, I am keeping all of my senses open for anything that might be hostile or coming too close.
Okay.
I
There's very little movement at all around you.
I
Everything
get
seems very still.
I get Tiger's attention for just a minute, just to give him the hand signal of 5 up. That's the floor we're looking for.
Right. Yeah. No, he heard that with the in the briefing, and he'll just give you a thumbs up and just as quickly and quietly as he can, top floor on the stairs.
I think
Okay.
Aaron's got something.
There's an elevator also, if
I'll do it
anybody wants to check that out. It's when you get to you have to go almost all the way to the back of the building to even see the stairs and the elevator, but they're right next to each other. But as soon as you get within visual range of the elevator, you can see that the doors are there's
Tape cross.
the doors are stuck partially open and you can't see anything inside there. There's just like this little gap and then darkness. So the elevator does not appear to be operational. So it'll be the stairs regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Elevators are noisy
looking forward
anyway.
to Shadow's first elevator ride, so if we can avoid that for now, it's probably good.
Okay, so you guys are going up
Yeah.
5 flights then?
Aaron's got something they're doing.
So are we all? I'm really sorry. 2 things.
That's okay.
Are we all going up, or is it Tig heading up ahead stealthily?
Good question.
Tig is currently ahead of us. I'm stalling back a floor until Tig gives the all clear for any floor that he gets to.
Okay. As that's happening, can Thistle? I have spirit heritage, spirit magnet, and spirit speech. Spirit speech being essentially a passive gift. Can I sort of just try and get a sense of if this place feels spiritually as I'd expect of a city area, or if it feels like abnormal, unusually dark, or unusually one thing or another?
Basically, you feel about as uneasy as you would with your normal, just common sense. There's nothing else that stands out to you right now.
Okay. It's not like this place feels really quiet compared to other cities I've been in, or other city places I've been, or this place feels really powerful, just sort of baseline?
Yeah, it's slightly more quiet than you would have expected, but it's probably due to what Shadow noticed, that there just aren't that many people in the building. And but it seems there's kind of a dead feeling about it as far as occupancy goes. But other than that, you're not sensing anything overwhelmingly unusual, except that as you climb the stairs, it just starts to smell worse and worse. And you can't even identify it as one particular type of scent, but it's just like generally mold and rot and like even feces, not necessarily human. It's basically the smell of the place that's kind of gone too long uninvestigated.
If I can keep an eye on the spirit climate as we ascend, that'd be awesome.
Well, you don't really have any way of doing that yet.
Oh.
So yeah, you're pretty much stuck with
Sorry.
your senses at
Yeah,
this point.
just-
No, that's fine.
Just from my sort of passive relationship to stuff.
Yeah. You're not
That's
getting
a really
any
good-
spiritual messages at this point.
That's a really good idea, though. Yeah, can I use Sense Worm?
Let's see.
He's a gift.
And yeah, and of course I forgot to write down what the mechanics of that are. Can you catch me
I
up?
roll Perception and Occult,
Mhm.
and the difficulty depends on the concentration and strength of the worm's influence, if any. Sensing a single Fomor in the next room would be difficulty 6, while detecting the stench of a bane that was in the room an hour ago would be difficulty 7. Vampires register as worm tainted, save those with humanity ratings of 7 or higher.
Okay, go ahead and give that a try if Grudek is going to use that gift, and I'll trust you to do the proper mechanics on it since I
Okay.
neglected to prepare that one.
Sure. Difficulty 7, probably.
I'm going to say difficulty 8, actually.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
1 success.
Okay. You definitely sense a general tainted feeling about the place, but it's not necessarily in the sense that, there are actual banes hanging out here. It's just that this is a place of such concentrated human misery that the worm, is likely drawn to it, but you don't get any sense of like immediate presence of a worm creature near you. What
Okay.
floor are you on right now, by the way?
Probably one below where Tig is.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all one below where Tig is.
Okay. So yeah.
And I will point out just out of character that the reason Grudek is rolling that is because he went through he's older than I think everybody else is. He's what 26 did we say, Michelle?
Some like 25 or so.
You're all
20,
older
yeah,
than
sort of
me.
maybe
I'm
24.
4.
He's in his 20s somewhere.
Yeah. So he's a little older, and he actually went through a rite of passage back in Brest, but is having to do it again here because
he has to reprove himself because bone gnawer.
Right. but he does have access to his first level gifts.
Because everyone gives the bone gnawers a hard time.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a whole big thing where he wasn't even allowed to. Cooking is his big thing, as you pointed out, C, and he wasn't allowed to do it for a long time until
They didn't trust him.
March Lion let him take a crack at it. But okay,
Bone
so anyway,
gnawers are the scum of Gaia.
so Grudek will sort of hiss at the others and say, "There's the lingering scent of the worm here, but I don't think anything present. Just a place of interest for it. So be careful. But I don't think." And then he stops himself. He says, "No, I watch too many movies, so I won't say I don't think something is about to burst through a wall. But be careful, but keep claws put away for now."
This is a place of misery. I wouldn't be surprised if there was at least a little bit of worm presence. This whole area is run down.
2 floors up, Tag sticks his head over the railing. Oi, what are your fuckers talking about down there? I'm not the one that started talking.
There is evil in this place.
Yeah, your mum's evil. All right.
Grudek tries to
He doesn't
communicate
mean
through
that literally.
charades by making like a worm gesture with his hand, which probably does not translate well.
I don't know my.
We'll work on your dance moves later, big fella.
As you climb the stairs, you hear the distant sound of somebody just endlessly coughing their lungs up on a lower floor, which, fades as you get higher. And Tig, you do eventually ascend to the 5th floor. And I'm going to share with all of you the floor plan of this place so you can see where all the doors are and stuff, where you come out. Let me know. It's in your journal now. It should be. Let me know if you see it.
Oh,
Got it.
Cool.
Yep. So you can see, do you see where the stairs are on the right there toward the east side of the building, stairs and elevator?
Yeah, right where the elevator is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Where that big square is where you'll be coming out the door.
Oh, so it's actually an enclosed, like, stairwell, not an open onto the floor
Yep.
stair. Okay, that's better.
Yep. I mean, you can see up and down the stairwell, but there's doors at each landing
got it.
that let out onto the hall.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where Tig comes out, and there's a single bare bulb, like right at that corner in the jagged remains of a light fixture, and that is the only lighting in that entire L-shaped hallway. Is just right at the corner of the L, one bulb, and it's not particularly bright either.
Did we get an
That's
indication
not
as to-
ominous at all.
Are the
Did
others
we have-
burnt out?
There aren't any.
You're not there yet.
They're gone. Like, you can see some places where light fixtures used to be, but everything has just been ripped out of there.
Okay.
And it really smells bad up here, like super bad.
Like sewage bad or like corruption
Like
and rot bad?
All of the above, like
Okay.
mold, like bird droppings, like possibly decay. Yeah,
Okay.
it's nasty. It's like a dumpster, basically.
Smells like they don't have a good roof on this thing.
Is this the top floor?
Yep, it's
Okay.
the top floor of the building.
Can I see if can I try again to find some rats or something
Well, hang on,
crawling around?
real quick, because I think both William and I have a thing.
Sure.
Yeah. First, did we ever get an indication as to what room the phone was in? Or was it just on the 5th floor?
Just sit on the 5th floor.
Okay. So we got to search as many rooms until
Good
we
luck.
find it.
Can I, with my keen senses, can I tell if there's anybody on this floor, and if so, where they're at? Like, can I differentiate that from the stench?
No, you're probably suffering severe sensory overload right now in particular. Like the smells are so strong that even in Hamid form for you, it's like being screamed at constantly.
Could I discern if this was intentional?
No.
No? Okay.
It just reeks. It seems like I mean, you've walked by dumpsters in the city and stuff and had a similar feeling. It just seems like here's a place that's just a pile of garbage, basically.
Tig would like to scan his eyes up and down the halls to see if any of the doors have any light peeking out from under them at all. He thinks that would probably be easiest to see considering how dark these hallways are anyway.
Okay, yeah. Very good question. So as you can see, there's like an L shape. There's a hall that goes south from where you are, and there's a hall that goes west from where you are.
Right.
At the far west end of the hall, you can see light coming from the farthest west door that's facing north. There's a little bit of light coming from under there. There's also some light coming from those doors right there at the corner where you're standing. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Almost looks like there might be candles burning in there.
Okay.
And then all the way at the south end of the hall, on the eastern side, that last door on the eastern side, a little bit of light coming from under there too.
Okay, so the southeast corner apartment has some light coming out of it.
As does
the two in the northwest corner.
Both of the doors in the northwest corner, yep. And then the far west, the one facing north, there's some...
The one in the other stairwell, basically, from what we can see?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when C reaches the 5th floor, he kind of looks around. This should be it. Thistle.
Yes.
Do you think that you can sense the spirit bound to the fetish?
I was told no before, but that's a GM question.
Yeah. No, Thistle is not at present receiving any sort of spiritual communications. In fact, he hasn't really since he went through their first change. The Rowan spirit, etc., has not really communicated directly with Zer at all. Only when Z actually steps sideways does he notice that the spirits like kind of flock to Zer, but otherwise things are pretty normal on this side of the gauntlet.
The spirit might be more... Spirit might be more interested in me, more curious about me than others, and might sense my own sort of nature more immediately, but I don't... And I can talk to them, of course, but I can't reach out quite that much. I'm sorry.
It's fine, but it's good to know what our strengths and limitations are. So unless it reaches out to us, we're on our own looking for it.
And we're all finding our way, Thistle. We're just going to do what we can. I'm sure with time, you'll be able to call all forth all the spirits of a building.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime,
I got the sense that buildings were the spirits we weren't supposed to talk to as much.
We've got 2 lights down to the northwest corner and one on the south. Sorry.
I was just in response to the buildings aren't the ones we're supposed to talk to. Gridek just puts a finger to his lips and winks at Thistle.
This place smells.
You can say that again, lad.
Smells like something or just smells?
This place smells.
I can agree with you on that.
Tig, which one were you saying we should start with?
Well, we've got one down in the southeast corner, and then there's a pair of doors with some lights coming out into them on the northwest end. I can't see around if there's anything on the far side, but I think the hallway continues around.
Well, let's check this. Let's check the lone door first.
And also don't forget that you can see a tiny bit of light on the doors that you're now standing basically right next to. There's 2 doors. See that corner there,
Yes.
the northeast corner? 2 doors right next to each other. Both of those seem to have a tiny bit of light.
Oh, those do as well. Okay.
let's check the lone door first, so that if it is there, we can try and find it without having to worry about waking up the door next to it.
The one to the south?
Yeah.
Do we have any way of locating it without seeing it?
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
I guess we probably should have asked for the phone number, but too late now.
No, it's very possible the phone. Didn't they say it was very possible the
Bridge Runner
digital
did.
mechanics of the phone were dead?
Yeah, Bridge Runner did say it's very likely the battery is dead, or it might even be broken. Since it hasn't moved, it seems like it's probably not being used for whatever reason.
Perhaps we listen at the door and see if anybody is active inside.
Well, if we need to get in, just let me know.
Shadow, you are keen of sense and quiet of step. Can you check the doors?
I will very quietly move to the lone door at the end of the hall.
Okay, are you going to shift to lupus form first, or
Actually, before I go, look at C, and I'll just pantomime all fours.
He thinks for a second.
In
How quickly
that
can you get
moment,
back?
Thistle is. Will your nose be okay?
I don't know.
How quickly can you
Seems
get back
risky,
from
but
that?
Your call.
Right now, I'm brimming with rage, so I can do it like that.
well, for breed form, you don't have to do
Oh, yeah,
anything
no,
at all.
for
You
breed form, I just go,
automatically
yeah.
shift. Yeah,
But to get back to Hamid form so that we can leave.
yeah,
Moments.
yeah. He
Give
can
it-
instantly shift back if he spends a point of rage. So.
Give it a try. If the smell is overwhelming, revert immediately.
So backing up into the stairwell, so that I'm not in the middle of the hallway. I'm just gonna shift to beast.
Okay. And the smell is clearly worse. All of his animal instincts are telling him that this is a place of just decay and disease, and like he just wants to get the hell out of there, basically. It's not so overwhelming that he can't move or think, but he will have instinct screaming at him like this place is gross and unhealthy, and you should go somewhere where there's fresher water and healthier animals, because this is a bad, hunting ground.
With the with the better senses now, can I separate out the smells anymore?
A little bit, in the sense that the doors where you can see light, you can also tell that there are actual living humans behind each of them.
Also, for vision purposes, while I am a wolf, I am the size of a mastiff still. Like, I am still a big wolf.
Yes.
And completely black fur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're pretty hard to see towards the extreme ends of the hallway because, as I said, the only light bulb is right at that corner by the stairs. So as you proceed down, you were going to head to the south door?
Yeah, I'm going to head
first?
to that lone door first and just sort of sniff around it. See if I can't... I'm trying to see if I can smell number of individuals, and if I can at all determine anything about them, like if there's a large smell of hormones to indicate a younger person, or a large smell of whatever might indicate mothballs to indicate an older person. Yeah, any sort of details that I can possibly pick out.
Okay.
So you want me to roll stealth?
You can roll stealth if you like. The more important roll is going to be perception and primal urge, and for you in your current state, it's going to be difficulty 7.
Right. Does that include the -2
For what
perception difficulty?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because if you were just in Hamid form trying to do that, it would be a
9.
difficulty 9
Okay.
roll for sure. Yeah.
All right. So let me do the perception primal urge first, and this is my keen smell specialization.
Yeah.
Got this.
Oh, yeah, difficulty 7. 3 successes. One of them's a 10. for the spell, and then
4 successes.
four successes. And
Okay.
then for the stealth, 2 successes. So I'm very quiet.
Okay. So stealth 2 and perception 3. Okay.
Perception
So you get to the
is no.
you get to the
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it should be 4. I don't know why it didn't.
okay.
Your specialization only counts as 2 if you have the specialization, but the 1 always takes 1 away.
Yeah, but I have an 8, an 8, a 9, a 10, and a 1.
Yeah.
So it should be 4,
So-
not 3.
Yeah, okay. So you get to that southern door and you snuffle around under it a little bit. From the sounds you're hearing inside, it doesn't appear that anyone has noticed that there's someone snuffling around outside their door. And you hear actually a woman talking, and you can smell an adult woman and 2 children. You smell a prepubescent female human child and an adolescent male human child in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And right there, actually, we're going to take a little break because it's 10 to 8 and you might need some refreshment. So we'll take a little break there and we'll come back in 15.
Alrighty, 15 minutes. And we're back.
All right. Shadow, are you going to check the other doors?
Yeah, so this one has adolescent male, prepubescent female, and adult female.
Mm-hmm.
At least as far as I can smell.
Human for sure. Yep.
Okay. Then yeah, I will just quietly pad around the rest of and all the way over to the other end of the hallway as well.
Okay.
Sniffing at each door.
Okay. So, what you discover is at the corner nearest the elevator, where there's those two doors next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Behind each door is a man, living human man of some adult age.
Okay.
That one that's all the way to the west corner, facing north, there's a woman.
Yep.
Then down at the other southern end of that hall, second from the bottom on the right there, door facing east, right past the garbage chute, there is a woman.
Okay. Then I will pad back to the stairwell, back into the stairwell, and spend a rage to go Hamid.
Spend that rage.
I will gladly spend that rage.
Mechanical clarification, because Aaron is kind of dumb. When we spend a rage, we don't need to roll, or we still need to roll?
Don't. It's like if you spend a rage to shift forms, it happens instantly as though you're shifting to your breed form, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, thanks.
Yep.
So the only room with children is at the end of the hall. I'll say, pointing down towards the one room that had, they get one mother, one daughter, one teenage son.
And the description that we were given of the thief was sort of a adolescent young adult.
Mm.
Yeah, about 12 years old.
Yeah, like we a little blighter with long hair, blonde hair, right?
Blonde hair, short hair.
Was there anyone that you could tell in the room next to that one?
No. Only the rooms with light have people.
Maybe we should try to get in door next to and see what we can hear through wall.
It smells bad.
It does. The one next to it smells super, super bad. It smells like bird shit, like a lot of bird shit.
Dead pigeons.
Well, then...
Sad.
Not
Charming
dead,
place,
Not
huh?
dead yet.
Oh, sorry. That.
Hey, so you want that I should get us into the room next door, or the one with the lights on?
The one with the lights on has people in it, and we are specifically not to raise alarm. Let's get to the room next door and see what we can learn.
Fair enough.
Should be
And I'll go try the door,
quiet.
see if it's open.
It is. It's open. It's not locked.
I
Tag
love
looks
that Tag
very
just
disappointed.
Opens doors. It's
He's hoping for a locked one, to be quite honest.
In fact, this door, as if to thoroughly annoy Tig, it doesn't even have a knob. There's an empty hole where the knob used to be, and it just pushes right
It's
open.
like these bastards aren't even trying.
And as soon as you open the door, an explosion of pigeons. You have apparently awakened an entire clan of pigeons, and they go sailing out the window, some of them in their startlement banging on the edge of the window on their way out and careening into each other.
Like I said,
But there's a mass exodus.
They
of
flew
pigeons.
away from me, not into the hall.
Right,
Do any of them come towards us like a John Woo movie? Does it get slow motion?
They seem to be very aware of where the exit is in the room, and they're all making
Like I
a
said,
beeline.
not dead yet.
If I can before they leave, I'm going to shout using beast speech. Don't worry, we're not here to disturb you. We just want to come and look.
And immediately after he does that, C's like, you know that was loud, right?
I mean, I
I
assume
just
the pigeon
grab-
explosion was loud too.
Yeah, he's loudly cooing, basically.
I just sort of grab Grudek and C and carry them into the room very quickly so we can close the door.
Grudek, will you roll charisma and animal ken?
Yes, that's a roll that I expected to make.
Just get in.
Thistle does not need to be carried.
No, that's why I grabbed C and Grudek.
I
And it's
imagine it's
difficulty
C, but he's
6.
not going to fight it.
Okay. No successes.
Drat. So the pigeons ignore you and continue escaping. One of them glances back like, what the fuck? But then just flies out. This guy speaks pigeon?
The what the fuck pigeon.
Not sticking around to find out why.
What the fuck pigeon is our new mascot.
Everywhere we go, there's the what the fuck pigeon.
He's just always perched there on the fence.
Yep.
Tilting its head quizzically.
Yep.
All right. So you're now in an empty room that absolutely reeks of pigeon droppings. There is
Nicest places.
Once
you can see where on the floor plan where there's like a little stove, and then next to that is a sink, and the sink is just full of bird poop. It's crusted black and gray, and it's just the nastiest thing you've ever seen.
once Thistle gets in the room, I'll close the door behind us.
Is probably pretty close behind Tag because
And once you close the door, even with the window open, like even the humans are probably eyes watering.
Eyes are watering, yeah.
Can we look around, see if we see anything in here other than a lot of bird shit?
It's pretty dark. The only light is filtering in through the window from the street. So it's like, and also the building next door is like 3 feet away. So it's also blocking a lot of light. So you can barely see it all.
Are the fixtures in here also missing, or are they broken?
They're just covered in bird crap and utterly non-functional. And some of them are missing pieces, you know.
Okay. I'm going to reach up to one of them and use Trash is Treasure and try to turn it on.
Okay, what are you trying to turn on exactly?
The light. I'm going to just reach up to the light bulb and turn it on.
Okay, remind me of the mechanics of that?
The player takes a hold of a broken object and rolls wits plus crafts. The object functions perfectly for 1 turn per success and also supplies its own power, fuel, or ammunition.
Roll it. Grab that
Okay.
light and roll.
4 successes.
All right. So that light bulb just switches on as though it were brand new. And you can now see each other perfectly, and you can see all the pigeon droppings in great detail. The pigeons have been living here for quite some time. There's feathers and there's nests and stuff in there. It's just, yeah.
I've been in this room before.
Grudek sort of pauses after the light comes on and then looks around guiltily and he says, "Sorry, I should have asked first. I hope that was okay."
No, it's fine.
Oh, fun story in case any of you find this too far-fetched. This is based on a real building from like about 9 years ago that was in this condition, in this exact spot in San Francisco. So, yeah.
I find it interesting that theoretically Grudek could make a cemented up Civil War cannon fire.
We're gonna have all kinds
So
of fun.
Tig is over by the wall, just with his head pressed up against it, looking for a shit clear section that he can listen up against.
There is no clean part of that wall to lean against, but, luckily the walls are not that thick, so he can just kind of put his ear near it and he doesn't have to actually touch the slime,
Oh, good.
mold, and just funk.
Grudek digs around in a pocket and hands him a handkerchief.
And he can hear occasionally like a child's voice just calling out a number or something. And then he hears a woman's voice say, "Ethan, let your sister win. and that's about all he hears.
Well, it looks like our little criminal's larcenist's name is Ethan. Shall we go have a word with the ma and let her know what her son maybe's been up to?
Oh,
Yes,
this
I-
probably rings very personally for Tig.
Oh, he knows exactly how this conversation goes down.
And if we have a
well-
little extra time, I want to talk to her about the idea of letting the other child win. That's not good for development.
How about
Um,
C
I
and
don't necessarily know.
So, myself, Grudek, and Tig, maybe we should be the ones to go in and talk about how my sister's purse had been lifted by someone who matches his description.
Maybe, but I think Thistle had something she was going to say.
Z?
Or Z was
Z.
going to say.
Z. Yes, Thistle.
Well, I can't stage whisper for the life of me. But in soft tones, well, so if need be, I can climb as well as I can walk in the right situation. And if that's helpful, though,
City running.
there's a little bit of a risk that the mother may know, but
But
at least
let's-
then there's a lecture about getting caught.
Perhaps Thistle and I go around the outside while you three go through the front door.
Oh, you guys, Perry is going to Spider-Man your way around the window.
I don't know if I can.
He'll stick his head
uh,
out the... Yeah, I don't think there's a fire escape or parapet around this side.
I don't need one.
It's a city. I'm.
Yeah.
I can lift a
You're
car.
100% right on this, Aaron. You could totally Spider-Man that wall.
Yeah.
And I can lift a car. I think I can hold
Though
myself
I
up.
do want to. Again, I'm new to the system. Do I have to be in Krynos form to use a right, or
No, to use
Would I-
your gift, you can be in
Okay.
whatever form. So basically, any man-made city structures, you can move over them just at the same speed you would walk
Yep.
over the ground when you use the gift.
I'm not? If you're confident, Shadow, I totally don't mind
Double
having you with me. I'm not strong enough to catch you in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, and it's also a sheer brick wall, so I don't think Shadow would have any luck using claws or anything to get up it. It's not a matter of strength, it's a matter of there's no handholds.
I
really.
can't punch my fingers into the brick with my
That's not a matter of strength, that's a matter of material strength. Your fingers, your bones are not as strong as brick. So.
Even if I use Predator's Arsenal.
I forget what that is, remind me.
Predator's Arsenal basically gives me my wolf claws as my fingers instead of normal
Yeah,
fingers.
there's still claws though. There's
Okay.
still organic material that could
Also-
break against stone.
I mean, in character, also, I think it's one thing if Thistle is going to go out, because theoretically Z just could be going for an evening climb or parkour or
I
something.
look like someone trying to steal from the place.
Right. But I think also if suddenly, even can you use Predator's Arsenal in Hominid form?
Yeah, that's what it's meant for.
Okay. I mean, I think that if somebody looks, what's all this brick dust coming from and up above? I think
Shadow,
we might have some veil issues.
if nothing else, if you're in the room, you could act as a relay. Let me know if I need to come in or if something changes.
I can do
I
that.
think for the moment, we're here to do this without arousing suspicion. We're here to do this without breaking the veil. Keep an eye on the outside, just in case, but don't start climbing until we really need you.
Absolutely.
Also a good idea.
Only if I get the go ahead, just as another route we should
Actually,
take.
do you have your cell phone on you?
Yeah.
I'm going to take your number down and I can signal you if I need to.
Mm-hmm. I relay a accurately area coded number.
I take it down.
Michelle?
I think it's 503.
Mm-hmm.
Tig is shifting to Glabro, or he's going to try.
Okay. Are you going to spend a point of rage to do it or do the roll?
He's going to try and roll, and if that doesn't work,
It's
then he'll
difficulty
spend
7.
Okay. And crap, I can't remember what the roll there is. Wait, I have it on my character sheet.
It's on the
I have
character sheet.
it already populated. Okay.
It's stamina and primal urge.
Stamina and
difficulty
primal urge, and you said difficulty 7. Okay.
Yep.
Shadow, just out of curiosity, where else in the building are?
One success. That's all I need.
I'll give Thistle the
Yeah.
the indication. It's further down, way further down.
Yeah, I took notes.
Yep.
So Tig puts on probably a good 50 pounds of muscle and another 4 inches or so. His features grow angular, but where you guys would expect those sort of tufted ears and fang teeth, he still looks entirely human.
Mm-hmm.
Fair Glabro.
Fair Glabro's the best.
Griddick nods appreciatively and says, "That's pretty good."
He gives a
Shadow.
shrug.
Shadow
His
is answering
shirt's
Thistle.
significantly tighter now.
I told Thistle already.
So
Okay.
Thistle's going outside by herself, or is somebody going with her?
Z is going to sort of wait. I assume it's not a huge distance on the outside.
Well, you can see from this would be a good time to pull up the floor plan just because it shows how much 20 feet is, and then it shows you the size of the walls.
So it's
Uh,
like not, especially if I can walk at my normal speed, it's not that far on the outside. I'm on standby, but I'm only going to actually climb if it becomes
Right. So you're standing 5 floors below that window, and you're kind of in a little alleyway between the two buildings. And there is a guy sleeping there.
I'm really sorry
No.
I lost you at your 5 floors.
We're still in
below.
the
I thought I
room,
was in
Michelle.
the room next door.
Wait,
We're still in
wait,
the
I
room.
thought you said you were going outside and you were going to wait.
No, I'm
under the window.
sorry. No, I just
Okay.
said that I can use city running and then confirmed that that was accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, Z was going to crawl out the window and go around.
If we
so
need me
so
to.
Z's exiting the window of the room that you're in now, or
Not yet.
okay.
I
So right
think
now
the
she's
plan
staying with-
is as a backup or as a supplement, Z can go out the window of the room we're in
okay,
and
but
walk
you're all going to go through the door
next
together.
door window.
So
Just the three of us, me, Grudek, and
and then
yeah.
Shadow, and then C is going to call Thistle
Yeah.
if he's needed. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
and I'm
so
sitting in
so
the
which-
room with
This will
Thistle.
keep an eye out if anyone
Okay.
tries to throw something out the window.
Okay, so Shadow is staying with Thistle, and then the other 3 are going to the door.
Yes.
The sound
Uh-huh.
Got there.
I understand now. Sorry, I'm bad
No
with
worries.
spatial things sometimes.
It's all right. So am I sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I
That
had
is
to
why
have
it
like
will
an
be nice
actual
to have
map.
tokens or something.
Indeed,
in
yeah.
the future.
All
Jack
right.
will teach me how to do that.
See,
So-
who do you want to take point on this?
Rudek, you have an air of elderly authority. I think you might be good as the lead-in, as perhaps a parental figure. My sister's bag was stolen, and I happened to recognize the young boy as he came home.
Of course, of course. Griddick takes his hat off and sort of holds it humbly between his hands in front of him, and goes up and knocks on the door.
Okay. A woman answers the knock. She could be anywhere from 30 to 45. Her general disarray and poor health makes it kind of hard to tell. She's got frazzled blonde hair with dark roots, shadows under her eyes that could either be fatigue or just makeup. And she opens the door just enough to poke her very haggard-looking face out and eye you suspiciously.
He says, Good evening, ma'am. I'm so sorry to trouble you so late in the night. But we're from the organization of Big Brothers Helping Little Brothers Helping Big Brothers. And my two young associates here and I have come here because, and he points to see, he said, my good friend Jones, his sister unfortunately had a bit of a run-in and has had her purse stolen. And when we were in the process of finding out how that might have happened, she gave a description that seems to match your Ethan.
Ethan? She opens the door the rest of the way and makes a tired, come on in gesture. Honestly, her apartment doesn't smell much better than the room next door, but the window is open, so there's a bit of a breeze coming in. The two kids are sitting right underneath the window on a pile of blankets and pillows and stuff. There's actually no bed in the room at all, so it's likely where they sleep. They're playing cards, literally not with a full deck. It's impossible to imagine what game they might be playing with like half a card deck. They're both blonde and sallow and undernourished looking. Girl looks about 8 and the boy looks around 12. Ethan, what's going on? I don't know anything about this. Did you steal from a lady? And the kid just puts down his cards and just stares at the three of you with very wide oh shit eyes.
And Grudek smiles at him and says, it's possible we were wrong. Maybe you were just there in the area. Jones's sister, sometimes she gets a bit confused, right, Jones?
That's definitely true, but the description that she gave seems to be accurate.
But go ahead.
I don't think there needs to be any trouble. I think all my sister really wants is her purse and her phone back.
Grudek is kind of looking around at the area, and he said, in fact, I think she was even offering a reward for its return, yes?
Yes, I actually have the money on me.
Grudek winces a little bit as you say that.
Yeah, but C's willing to sacrifice a little bit of money to get this done. So
no, I'm just announcing that you have money on your pockets. But
oh no.
The boy looks at you guys for a long time with this sort of deadpan expression, and then he says, "Yeah, no."
Can I tell if he's lying?
I have truth of Gaia.
I cast Zone of Truth.
The thing is, you can't tell what he's saying no about. He just says no. So
okay. Yeah. So no, you don't have the purse, or no, you won't give it back.
I'm not giving you anything. I'm not giving you shit. Ethan, watch your language, says his mom.
Grudek is still smiling, and he says, actually, I think you're giving us shit right now.
Nobody in the room laughs. Like, they're serious as a heart attack right now.
Tig kind of sticks his head around a bit. Look, young fella.
In the room?
Oh, well, I mean, like, he came in with him, yeah.
Oh.
You can either pass it over, and we can have this issue done without any undue bother or stress. And I'm sure your mom and your sister here would prefer that the police don't get involved with something of this nature.
Ethan, you want the police here? Says his mom.
And he's going to try and use the Hamid gift persuasion.
Interestingly enough, before Ethan even gets a chance to respond, his mother goes over to this pile of blankets and crap where they sleep, and she grabs a bag and she starts rifling through it. And Ethan stands up and he's like, Mom, don't. And she's rifling through his stuff, and then she's like, there's no person here. What is it you're looking for?
A small phone and a black shoulder purse.
She pulls out the phone. There's no person here, but there's a phone. It's dead as a doornail. Is this her phone?
Looks like it.
Can we? Boy, I don't think any of the three of us can sense spirits in any way. Can we?
You wouldn't be able to tell it from a regular phone, no. But fits the description. And also there's the clue that Ethan leaps to his feet possessively and tries to take it from his mother, who then lifts it as high as she can over her head, and he's not quite tall enough to get her reach. And he's like, Mom, give it, Mom, give it now. And she's just holding the phone up. Is this the one?
Yes.
It looks like it. Ethan, can you tell us where the rest of the contents of the bag might have wound up?
And rather than answer Grudek's question, he abruptly shifts into Krynos form.
All right, how does his mom and sister react?
Everybody better roll some initiative right about now.
Okay.
Holy yeah.
But the reactions are immediate, so I can tell you. The sister starts to scream like a freaking tea kettle, the 8-year-old. And
I'm about
the mother
to come through this wall.
The mother looks alarmed, but not particularly surprised.
So the text that C had saved to, or like ready to send to Thistle is just now.
Bink!
Hooray!
Where is the little girl who's screaming in relation to everybody
by the
else?
window. She's cowering in the corner, screaming.
Okay. Okay. So we'll roll initiative.
All right.
Let's do this thing.
There's about to be
Damn,
one.
Thistle.
There's about to be one less wall in the room. Aaron, you're muted.
Initiative
Aaron, you're muted.
is
It's on the
Wits.
combat page. Dexterity and wits.
Dexterity and wits.
Yep. Yeah.
We're not
Wait, I'm
supposed to
Getting weird
break the
results.
law in any obvious way.
Yep. Nope.
Hold on, I don't understand these results y'all are getting, but
We
The
got,
higher,
we
the higher the
got a
number, the
6.
higher the initiative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but how are we getting like 13s and stuff?
Because it's adding.
because
it's not.
Yeah, it's adding the numbers together. It's not a success fail number. It's literally how high of a number do you roll on the dice.
I thought that's what initiative was.
Yeah, that is.
Yes,
I-
that's what
Am I
initiative.
doing it wrong?
No, we're not.
No, we're
Michelle
doing
got
it-
confused.
We're doing it right.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yep, sorry. All right.
So
Okay.
It goes like highest number is highest initiative, so you start planning at the lowest number.
Yeah, that part I get. I just didn't understand why the numbers were what they were. Okay. All right. So what order are we in here? Let's list them from highest initiative to lowest. The way your actions will be.
So highest
I
is
think
Thistle.
I'm highest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thistle with a 16. Then C with a 13.
Mm-hmm.
Then me with the Shadow with a 10.
Mhm.
Then Tig with a 7 and Grudek with a 6.
That's about right.
Okay. And
I don't have the NPCs, but it's in chat if that helps you at all.
Yeah. Great. And I'm no longer 100% sure how to roll initiative for the NPC. So,
Dexterity wits.
well, yeah, but okay.
So you just roll it and add it all together. You're looking for the sum.
Yeah,
not
which I don't.
successes.
I honestly I don't know how to do that. On
you
how,
can actually
how
just-
many-
I can do it for you, Michelle.
Or the
How
easiest way,
many?
you could just type
what's-
slash roll.
Yeah.
and
Well, how
then
many?
The number of
how-
d10s.
Same as yours, Tig.
Okay. All right. So 5.
Yep.
Okay. That's a
Whoa.
25.
Oh shit!
Okay. Well, someone.
Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome, everybody.
Oh wait,
Okay.
wait, hang on. It's 1d. It's not 5d10. It's 1d10 plus 5.
Oh, that's right. Durr.
That's why.
Wait, what?
That's
Try
not
that
wrong.
again. I was like, wait a
I'm
minute.
not trying to do this because I completely mislearned how initiative works, and I'll have
That's
to
fine.
study that
Yep.
between.
No, that was my fault. Okay, 14. 14 is the NPC's initiative.
Okay, so we're between Thistle and C. All right.
Yeah.
So, Grudek, what are you going to do?
I'm actually going to stay in Hamid form and try to go over and sort of block off the little kid from seeing the rest of the room. Because
Okay.
if she didn't like that, she's not gonna like what else is about that.
It only
And
gets
I just,
worse
he's
from
he's
here.
sort of crooning in a calming fashion as he heads that way.
Okay. Tig, what are you gonna do?
Tig is way lower in the initiative. He's at the bottom, so he's gonna he's already in as shifted as he can get, so he's going to dive for the phone.
Okay.
Wherever it ends up.
All right. Shadow.
Can I... The sound of a teenage boy shifting Krynos, how loud is that?
Not very. No, it doesn't make a sound.
Okay.
Shadow.
So I don't know anything's
It
happening,
sounds like
so I'm waiting.
Okay. C.
I think C is very much just like in the middle of the tempest, just standing very calm and still, staring this Krynos in the eyes.
Okay.
You don't want to do this. This will
For-
only get you or your family hurt.
Okay.
for
Stop
anybody who.
now.
I'm so sorry, see, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to say, for anybody who's watching the game and who is not familiar with Werewolf, Krynos is the middle form, which is sort of the traditional Wolfman
Don't worry.
form.
Don't worry. I'm gonna thoroughly describe him in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. And okay, and then it's Ethan's turn, and I know what he's gonna do. And Thistle, what are you gonna do?
So Thistle receives the text, presumably at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no. I don't know if this in any way addendums Shadow, but we'll let Shadow know. I think they may need you in there. Go see what's happening with them, and we'll. I realize it's weird halfway. Intends to go out the window and go around using the city walk thing.
Yeah, for you, this counts as just as though you were walking that distance across the room. So it's
I
very
need to
easy for you do
spend
it in one
something. Let me just check. what
Point of
I
rage.
wrote.
Yeah, just spend
Okay.
a point of rage, and you can just as easily as though you were walking through the wall straight to the room. You can go out the window and to the other window. Are you going to go actually through the window, or just outside it, or?
So, given I don't exactly know what's happening yet, if this is okay, Thistle would like to sort of duck peek around the like edge of that room's window, see if Z can see into the room.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Y'all ready for this?
Yep.
Starts.
Okay.
Thistle.
So first, Thistle does her thing and is peeking in the window.
Shadow,
Just-
go see if they need help. And just walks on the wall.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then Ethan basically attempts to barrel straight through whoever's between him and the door. He's got the phone in his hand, and he's trying to barrel straight through you in Krynos form out into the hallway. So that is probably going to change some of you guys' actions, which is going to increase the difficulty of anything you try to do, because he was just too fast for you. Whatever you were planning to do, he's kind of thrown a wrench in that by just bolting for the door straight through you with the phone clutched in his Krynos hand.
Yeah. At least he didn't jump out the window.
I don't think I can chase someone down in Krynos form with City running.
So next is C, who was planning to try to calm the kid down.
I was specifically like, my charisma specialty is commanding voice, so
Mhm.
I was.
Do you want to still try to talk to him as he's fleeing?
Yeah, I'm basically calling after him.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll charisma and
Leadership?
leadership.
Sweet. What difficulty?
in this case, it's going to be difficulty 7 because you add 1 for changing your mind. It would have been a pretty simple roll.
All right. All right. So that's going to be. Hey, I got 1 success. I got something.
Okay. And that may actually be slightly useful. Tig, what are you going to do?
He's diving for the hand that the phone is in, trying to grab.
Wouldn't it be my turn now?
Oh yeah, Shadow.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm the wrong person. Too many S names. Gonna do.
Well, now I assume I've seen him burst out of the hallway in Krynos form.
Well, you've had a couple of the first change in your plan would be when Thistle said.
Thistle said go check on them. So I would head to the door, open the door, see a Krynos burst out into the hallway, and
he's straight toward you.
Spend a rage to go Krynos and tackle him.
I think you have in the 3 seconds you've got enough time to get out in the hall and be facing him as he moves. Neither of you will have time to reach each other, but you will be able to get out into the hall and see him coming towards you, assuming that Tig's tackle that he's still going to try to do next doesn't.
Would I still be able to go Krynos by spending a rage? Okay.
Yep. Just be a Krynos wall in his way.
Yep.
So there is now a little over 10-foot tall Krynos, pure solid black Krynos werewolf in the hallway between boy and exit.
I'm assuming I saw him in Krynos form before he got.
You saw everything. You saw everything as it's happening because you were the first one on the scene. And okay, so next is Tig. You're still going to try to tackle the moving target?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And I might actually need your help on this, Jack, as far as how the mechanics of that would work. I know it's going to be dexterity and brawl, but
actually it's dexterity and athletics because it's more of a grapple
moving
maneuver.
target, yeah.
Mm-hmm, right.
But I don't know what the difficulty would be here.
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
For me, and then after I make mine, his difficulty is 6 plus however many successes I got.
Okay.
So he's got a different difficulty.
I'm going to let you run this roll, Jack, because I trust you.
Okay.
And I don't want to screw it up. So
all right.
You let me know how that works out.
Find my character sheet then. All right. I am in Galabro form. So that means...
And assume his stats are the same as yours.
Okay.
Because in this case, they are.
All right. So I'm rolling 4 dice, difficulty 6.
Poor kid.
I got 4 successes. 9, 9, 10, 9.
Wow.
So his difficulty is going to be 10. He's going to have to roll 4d10, difficulty 10. Because I got super fucking lucky. Okay.
Is his strength a little higher than yours because he's in Krynos right now?
Probably. But it's dexterity and athletics.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Although that would put his dex at 1 higher than yours too, though, because Krynos gets +1 to dex.
Yeah. All right. So, do you want me to just roll for him then as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. So 4d10, difficulty 10. He gets 0 successes, as one might expect.
All right. So this is what Thistle sees through the window. When he arrives through the window, he sees this massive, though actually not quite 9 feet tall, Krynos form, just ugly as all get out. Veiny bat ears, patchy fish white fur, and his eyes are glowing a sickly green. And his mouth looks like somebody just crammed as many fangs into it as possible from every possible direction. He can't even close his mouth all the way. He's revolting, just utterly sickening. And you see this monster with the phone clutched in his hand race toward the door at the same time that Grudek rushes to shield the small girl who's screaming in the corner, rushes toward the door. C calmly calls after him, "Don't do this," that thing you said earlier, C.
It's only going to get people hurt.
Yes, it's only going to get people hurt. And Tig then just leaps on this monster and tackles it to the ground, and he lands so his chin is like right in the doorway on his way out. But he's just face planted in the doorway.
Michelle?
Still clutching the phone. Yes, Jack.
I deal 3 bashing damage to Ethan,
Excellent.
which he can then soak.
Yep.
Stamina roll.
Stamina difficulty 6.
I'm going to need some physical dice because roll 20 just utterly stymies me. Can you roll that for me, Jack?
Yeah.
How
much? What's his stamina? 3? Oh wait, no, he's in Krynos form. What's his normal stamina?
Same as yours.
Okay. All right. So he's rolling 5, difficulty 6. So he takes 2 health levels of bashing damage.
Okay.
Which puts him at hurt. So he's at a minor. No, which
his
puts him at bruised.
2, right? His stamina is 2, right?
Yes.
So he is also stunned. He just landed on his chin right on the floor, and it's got him utterly. But he's still clutching the phone, but he's utterly senseless for the moment.
Can I ask a question? Because I'm just observing. I'm assuming Thistle got primed on like what delirium is and its effects. Does it seem like that's happening to the 2 others in the room? Yes, no, sort of.
It's hard to tell with the little girl because she's just shrieking at the top of her lungs, but it could be just from shock that her brother is doing this, or it could be delirium.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways in which delirium manifests itself, is just absolute panic. So it's possible that she's experiencing delirium. The mother clearly isn't. She's still very alert and obviously alarmed, but to the level she would be if her son were in human form doing this shit.
Other somewhat lore-ish question. Do I know, and if so, can you exposit to me what might lead to a person other than she is also Guru-ish, might lead to a person not experiencing delirium?
Thistle would know that the only people who would not experience delirium are either Guru or kinfolk.
Okay. Which, if this is her son, that might make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Slight rules retcon. He's not stunned. Krynos puts his stamina at 5, and I only dealt 2 damage to him.
Oh, so is it counting against the base stamina or against the stamina and form?
It's counting against the stamina and form.
Okay.
Because
all right. He's not
harder.
stunned.
It's harder to stun a Krynos werewolf than it is a human form.
True. Okay, so he's prone,
Oh,
prone
it takes
but
a
not
lot
stunned.
to stun me then.
Oh yeah.
Prone but not stunned.
Right.
You'd have to kill me to stun me.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Please.
Guys, we got 14 minutes
That's
before we take a break. So if you want anything else to happen, let's get moving.
All right.
It's back to the top of it's
Back to the bottom of the
sorry,
deck.
it's screw deck
haven't
now.
gone.
Screw deck now.
It sounds.
I'm assuming that you succeeded in because yours was just a move across the room, basically, right? Oh,
Right,
do you want
but
to also roll to see if you are able to comfort the girl?
I would. I'd also like to just ask, or if this is an occult roll that I need to make. But I mean, this seems like far beyond just if he were a Metis. That seemed like far too many changes. Correct? Am I? I don't want to apply meta knowledge to it.
His
I don't
transformation
understand the question.
his transformation seems weird. Does it seem like he's just Metis, or does it seem like he's worm infected?
Yeah.
You aren't able to tell anything other than what I told you. You know what he looks like, and you know that he changed instantly, and that's all you can tell.
Okay. Can I do sense worm again, or is that going to take up my whole my whole action.
You've already used your action for this turn by moving across the room, so you can't do anything else yet.
Okay. Have I reached the girl, or I'm still on my way?
You are able to reach her because a move is like an automatic thing, unless there's someone actively opposing you, which there is not in this case. So you're able to automatically move to the child. The only thing you would have to roll for is if you want to know the result of your attempt to comfort her.
Yeah, let's find that out if we can.
Okay, so that would be manipulation and empathy. Called D6.
Manipulation and what else? I'm sorry.
Empathy.
You cut out.
Empathy.
Empathy.
Okay. And I have the calming specialization. Would that help? I assume that would help me.
Yep.
Yes.
So all your 10s are 2 successes.
Okay. Let's see if that makes any difference. Nope, doesn't make any difference. Wow, I rolled 7 dice and got no successes.
Got you screaming in your ear, basically. Congratulations. And I think, you know what? I think in the amount of time it would take to roll initiative again and declare actions and everything will be past our time. So I think we're going to break at Ugly Krynos on his chin on the floor in the doorway, Shadow lurking in the hall outside, Thistle peering in the window at the disaster, and Grudek crouched, screaming girl, and C standing in the middle of the room, calmly as the eye of the storm. So that's where we will stop for this week, and we will pick up next time.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Night.
Goodbye.